It's that time of year that people want to know about the Cyclone Rake. Welcome back to the O&D Life. Today we're going to talk about leaf management. When I first moved out here and had to deal with all these leaves my first fall, I was not ready for it. I had a rake. I think I had to go buy a rake too. There aren't trees in Las Vegas where I came from, at least not in my yard. So basically that first year, second year, third year was pretty futile. Trying to use a rake, figure, it'll be good for the ground just to let them mulch in. End up just killing your grass. Got a little blower, battery powered blower that really, the leaves laughed at me. Got the steel blower, backpack blower, and that definitely took me to a whole new level. I could really move some leaves out, but still it was difficult to control them, I guess. Needed to dispose of them, put them somewhere. And that's where the Cyclone Rake came in. Could vac them up and then put them on the backside of the property somewhere, out of the way, where they can compost down. Hey guys, so this is a long time in the making and a review on the Cyclone Rake. So I've actually pulled it out of the carport. I keep it in the carport up there where I keep the backhoe when it's off and the DR trimmer. This is pretty much how it sits. Just this past year I did get the jack to put on it. Makes maneuvering it around inside the carport much easier. So I have I've already pulled it out, but I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and kind of go through how I hook it up and what I need to do to my mower to get it ready to accept and blow the leaves into the Cyclone Rake and where it sucks it. So we'll kind of go through some of that. As you can see, I just put the hose on top. I've got the longer hose. I can't even remember how long it is. If you go to their website, you can see how long it is, and I think they have multiple sizes. But I just drape it over the Cyclone Rake itself. Probably not the best thing for the actual canvas, but it's holding up. This thing has been great. I've used it, golly, probably since 2010, so 7 years or so, and it's going strong, no problems at all. So one of the things we need to do is we need to hook up the adapter that goes onto the mower. Don't know if you can see that. I might turn the mower so you can see it. Okay, there we go. Now you can see. So what we have is the adapter that when I got the Cyclone Rake, I had to put this bolt through, and that connects, gives me a spot to mount this. Just like that. It's as simple as that. And then I've got a couple screws. Let me get those. I store these on the Cyclone Rake. They just screw on, so you don't need any tools to take this off, which is really nice if you're out collecting leaves and it plugs up. Then you can just jump off, twist these off with your thumb, and you're good to go. So simple as that. That part's ready. Okay, let's take this hose off. You'll see where it connects. It's just a couple of latches. let's take you in for a peek. Peek inside to the Cyclone Rake impeller. They have a technology that allows that. It's a polymer plastic, but if something big goes in, solid, these will deform and let it pass through without damaging the propeller. So that's something that I think has led to a lot of its longevity, is the fact that it's difficult to damage that propel. So impeller. So I've been real pleased with that. Okay, we'll hook up the tubing that goes from the Cyclone Rake, and it ends up hooking up to the lawnmower. They have it labeled blower, so there's the blower side. I really should take better care of my stuff, clean it up after each year. Maybe when I'm done this year, I will give it a really good cleaning and hang it up, put it up a little bit nicer. Let's hook it up. Okay, now the Cyclone Rake actually just hooks up to a ledge that I had to install on the mower. That mounting bracket. When I ordered the Cyclone Rake, they asked which model of mower I had, and got a specific piece that would be used with my mower, and it's bent at a certain angle. And I did have to drill 3 holes, I believe it was, maybe more. It's been a while. And then mounted it on with some bolts and nuts. I do find that I have to tighten up the nuts, even though they are nylon nuts, but it's not a big deal. Just all that vibration. The Cyclone Rake just goes on with those pins that I showed, and then there's the cotter pin to hold it in place. Sometimes you have to lower it or raise it up just a little just to get things to line up just right. But otherwise, pretty painless. We'll hook up this piece. You'll notice the twine that I have on the tube. I like to just kind of wrap that to help keep it from dragging as material goes through it and perhaps weighs it down. Just a little slip knot there. Okay, let's see about starting it up. I already put some fresh gas in it. I ran it dry to get it all out of the carburetor in hopes of keeping it from getting gummed up from sitting. There was 1 year I didn't do that and it did gum up the carburetor, so took it to a small engine shop and had it running and purring like new. You can see up here at the side, there's a little pouch. That's where I put the pins and the knobs. So it's right here on the Cyclone Rake. Let's see if it starts. First time this year, so it's been a little while. Before we get vacuuming with the mower, I wanted to show you some footage using the handheld. So just have to disconnect the mower and connect the handheld version, 2 clips, and just kind of show you how it works. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, not much to it. But I will say, I want to tell you about a time I was vacuuming up leaves, ended up having an empty quart of oil container in the middle of the leaves, didn't know it, and I was vacuuming, and dang it if it didn't suck it on up in there. And you remember that how I was telling you about the impeller, how it deforms and then returns right back to let something pass through? It went through, no problem whatsoever, didn't damage it. So that is worth its weight in gold. I can't imagine. I'm sure I've sucked up other things that probably would have damaged other impellers. It doesn't shred the leaves, so basically whatever the lawnmower does, that's what shreds it. If you're using this, it's not going to get shredded. It's just sucking it up and sending it into the collection bin there. But I thought I'd tell you about that quart of oil that I sucked up, but it didn't do any damage to it, so I was glad of that. Pretty self-explanatory using that handheld piece. Not much to it. I don't use it so much now. I blow everything out into the open so I can just run over it all. So I don't use that too much. Okay, here you'll see it in action. So the last weekend, the weekend before, I blew all these leaves over, from my driveway in front of my garage, right above from our backside of the house and the screen porch and stuff. I blew leaves all from that area over to where I'm picking them up right now. It's kind of, wide open. I can run the mower and the Cyclone Rake through it. As you can see, you're kind of long, and the way that the unit turns, it's all one piece, and it swivels on those wheels. And so it's pretty handy, easy to use with the 0 turn, doesn't jackknife, so it works out really good. If you check out on their website, there's options for an upgrade for the wheels if you're worried. I get going pretty fast and get turning, and my yard's kind of rough, and the standard wheels that came with the unit are doing fine. That was sitting for a week. We had some rain, so it was kind of packed down, and I went over once with my mower deck up higher just to get the loose stuff, because it will build up in front of you if the leaves are really thick. And then I lowered the lower deck down to about my 2.5 setting, and then picked it up, and that picked up the stuff that was really matted down that was on the bottom. So it ended up filling up. You should be able to see here in a minute. It'll start blowing out of the sides. Right there, I think it did. So we gotta empty it. All right, we're over here in the shadows a little bit, so hopefully you can see. Now this is one area where I feel like this is an area that they could improve on. It's not hard to do, but those leaves get packed in so tight that sometimes they're a little difficult to dump out. So you got to free that up. Undo these buckles. They Velcro to the side. these. And then we're going to dump it. I'm going to back it up a little more. Alright, got you guys just a little behind and downhill to it. As I was saying, they can be packed in there pretty good. So I like to have a stick or a rake and start to try and pull them out with that. To loosen up the pack, basically. So it would be nice to be able to back up, dump it out, pull forward, and go. But it's not too difficult to deal with this. I'm sure some of those other systems have their challenges as well. Let's dump it. Just lifts up. Give it a shake. Clear some of the leaves out of the way. Okay, sorry about the text on the screen. During my editing process, I'll put myself notes where to do a voiceover, and in my process of trying to save it in a different spot, delete old raw footage to free up space on my phone. I do all my editing on my phone. I goofed up and left that in there. But anyways, I wanted to talk about the trade-off. So you have this canvas bag which stretches just a little bit as it fills up. If you fill it up all the way, which packs it in so tight, it's more difficult to pull out, to get it all out at first. But it's kind of a trade-off because this canvas bag allows you to fold it up flat and hang it on the wall. So you got to consider the trade-offs. If space in storage is a concern, then this is the trade-off you have versus having something rigid, big rigid container that takes up a lot more space. So I will say that if you don't fill it up to the brim until it's going out the overflow spots, then it's easier. It doesn't get packed in. You can back up, empty it, just by tilting it back and driving forward, and it empties out. So there's always a way to avoid that. Me, I like to just keep going, fill it to the brim, and then go empty it. We're ready for round 2. Thanks for watching. I truly feel blessed to be able to do this and contribute back to the YouTube community that I have learned so much from, such as how to do tractor and auto maintenance and repair, plumbing repairs in my house, electrical, which I'm certain has saved me thousands of dollars over the years. Not to mention the tons of entertainment watching tractor-related videos in anticipation of my tractor, then how to use it, or the attachments, or what my next attachment mod I absolutely needed. I'm sure I'm the only one, right? To help support the channel, please hit the like button and comment below. This helps the video get suggested to other viewers. Plus, I really enjoy the interaction from y'all. If you want to see other videos of my tractor adventures, subscribe to my channel at O&D Life and hit the bell symbol to be notified when new videos are posted. When you go to my channel, you will find videos discussing attachments, some safety lessons learned from a rollover I had and a time that the tractor was running away from me downhill. And then there's videos of just getting orange and dirty. If you are on Facebook, you can find me at O&D Life. Like and follow the page for sneak peeks of current weekend projects and likely upcoming videos. Look in the description below for my email and link to the O&D Life Amazon store, where you can find some products that I use in the videos or just use or that I want and I plan to order at some point from the store. Lastly, check out some of the videos in the description. I have some links. They're videos of products that can help keep you orange and dirty, living the O&D life. O&D out.